To start. So welcome to session 2. Our first presenters are Kardelen Aslan and Kadri Nazli, and they are presenting on the humorous use of artificial intelligence in foreign language teaching, fan fiction case of, and now I'm going to embarrass myself, Barış, Alper, Yılmaz.
It was perfect.
It was perfect. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
You have the floor.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Humor Research Conference. This presentation is really special for us because we're presenting it on the Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day as well. So let's get started with basically the title. So today with Dr. Kardelen, we will be just presenting the humorous use of artificial intelligence in foreign language teaching, the fan fiction case of Barış, Alper, Yılmaz. So I'm Kardelen from Dicle University, and I'm currently doing my MA at the same university in English language teaching. And my dear instructor is contributing me about this presentation today. So let's see our contents part at the first place. First, we will start with the introduction and literature review parts, and then we will mention the methodology, findings, and conclusions, and then we will just end the presentation with the pedagogical implications and the references part. So when we have a look at our first title in the introduction and literature review, we will see 5 main titles ranging from teaching English to young learners and the social media use in ELT context. So when we start with teaching English to young learners, then basically when we see the related literature, we see that the young learners are set to experience, observe, and create the connections among the elements of the class. And basically to do this, the teachers need to create a meaningful context with entertaining content by just integrating the videos and the tactiles and the visuals, in addition to the other internet resources, to basically have the dynamic and the inclusive approaches in the classes. But since the young learners might have the classroom anxiety due to their ages, so the teachers are also advised to decrease the classroom anxiety by just integrating those kinds of materials in an appropriate way and with the level-friendly tools as well. And basically, our second topic is teaching English with the artificial intelligence. So this, I think, is one of the main concerns that we have this in pilot studies. So we will basically just talk about the language models definition at the first place. So when we have a look at the language models definition, we can see that it's a computational system to understand and generate the human language by facilitating the interaction between humans and also machines. Besides, since the debut of ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence tools' let's say, journey has been evolving as well. And also in this pilot study, we facilitated ChatGPT. And ChatGPT has been shown to encourage the learners to develop both micro and the macro skills as well. And it could develop the interactive materials for receptive and micro skills. And it could contribute significantly to the comprehensive classroom atmosphere. Besides, it was also discussed that it could optimize the chatbot communication through the personalized lesson plans. Besides the benefits that we have for this particular artificial intelligence tools nowadays, there are also some cons related to it in the related literature. It was said that they could increase the anxiety among the learners, and it highlights the need for education on the effective use of AI applications like ChatGPT or maybe Copilot, etc. And also we are warned about the fact that the over-reliance on AI might reduce learners' critical reflection and critical thinking abilities in the language learning classes. And there might be some concerns related to the privacy and the potential displacement of human labor for the future. And when we have a look at humor and ELT, which is the main concern of this conference, we basically can say that it can eliminate the stress and anxiety in the classes so that the students can enjoy more the education process. And humor can be used for grammar, especially the vocabulary teaching and retention, according to the literature, because it can create an authentic atmosphere in the classroom. And to basically integrate the humor into our lessons, we can basically just use the visual materials and internet to basically increase the linguistic performance and the humorous side of the lesson. And according to some resources, humor is not only for the advanced learners, and as we mentioned earlier, the young learners can also be integrated into the internet tools or maybe artificial intelligence tools and humor as well, if they can see the appropriate and level friendly materials. And humor is basically it can be a tool rather than the purpose itself. So it can be beneficial for them according to the literature. And it can enhance the quality of the learning, and it can create the teachers can create the appropriate guidelines for humor in the linguistic innovation. And when we see the fan fiction, celebrities, and ELT, it's a wide range of literature that we have right here. So firstly, we will have a look at near peer role models. So according to the resources that we revise, we basically witnessed that the young learners especially can be really encouraged to see people, especially celebrities, who are near to their generation and who are from their own background in terms of culture, language, and also maybe experiences, if they can be interested in their fields as well, ranging from sports to music. And when we have a look at fan fiction, we can say that it started in 1960s with the integration of the popular culture for the young learners. And fan fiction can basically be defined as the written story by just combining two universes that we have. For example, combining Harry Potter universe and the Lord of the Ring universe. So you just combine it in one story, and then you just create your own fan fiction. Nevertheless, with the integration of the internet resources nowadays, it also shifted somehow. So we have some other kinds of terms that we have right here, such as fan subbing and also scanlation. It can encompass cooperative fan practices that merge technology, popular media, and also second language learning use. Besides, if the students nowadays are not really fond of just reading books or maybe writing stories, then they are advised to to be taught with the visuals, such as creating websites with the universes that we got in the fan fiction, and it can be a support for informal language teaching. Besides, they can be really reflective of the expressions in the lessons and outside the classrooms as well. And our last topic is basically social media use in ELT context. And when we look at social media tools, we can see that it's basically used for various cultures and languages, because it's a genre of communication nowadays by just connecting people. And also, basically, according to some other resources, we see that the computer-mediated communication is also encouraged in the language teaching. Now we will see the methodology part, which is really small, let's say, because it can be a case study, and we will talk about this in detail in the next slide. So we had 6 primary and the secondary school students in this pilot study, and basically their ages were between 7 and 13. And we have conducted the convenience sampling in our, let's say, selection, and also purposive sampling. We were just careful about the participants have an A1 and A2 level of English, and they should be taught English for approximately 3 months by their teacher, which is me. So we basically just integrated them into this case and the pilot study so that we can see the short-term progress with our own aim here. And as the learners are underage, all of the permissions were taken from their parents and also the university. And when we have a look at the demographic features of our participants, we basically see that most of these students were the 4th graders. And also we had 3rd, 2nd, and 5th and 6th graders as well. And also 4 of the students were the primary school students, while 2 of them were the secondary school students in Turkey. And also, this can be a qualitative study with a deep description of their experiences by the participants. Especially, we were really careful about just collecting the ideas of the young learners that we have in the intervention process. And also, due to the focus is on 6 participants, the present study can be described as a case study. And this is a pilot study. So hopefully, with the comments and interpretation coming from you at the end of the presentation, we can just turn it into maybe a long-term progress. And also in this qualitative case study, 6 young learners participated in 80-minute private online English lessons provided by us through the intervention process. And the intervention encourages critical thinking, creativity, and language skills development. So we just try to blend the pop culture with the language learning. And to do this, the fan products of Barış Alper Yılmaz, who is a famous football player in Turkey, playing in the Super League for Galatasaray, we just used his fan production, AI-generated fan products as a primary instructional material. And we will just talk about this in the intervention process, which is a very whole, long process. So firstly, we will basically see that we aimed the interactive and AI-enhanced English learning experience for the learners, and we integrated 7 and 13-year-old students from Turkey in our online English lessons. And for this reason, we just used the AI-generated fan content featuring Barış, Alper, Yılmaz, and we collected them from TikTok, Instagram, and X. And they were shared by his fans and by his club Galatasaray in Turkey. And we basically collected 21 content, but we needed to eliminate 10 of them so that we can just create an appropriate and level-friendly materials for the young learners. And in these AI videos and the visuals, he was depicted as Hulk, Elf, Harry Potter, and he was also depicted as Joker. So the students were quite accustomed to these depictions beforehand, and also they were let's say accustomed to seeing the AI generated materials, because we were doing this before this intervention process in our previous classes as well. And also they took 18 minutes lessons basically, and in this lesson they compared the activities between real Barış and AI Barış using the model verbs can and can't, and they analyzed the visuals, and also we had the video-based discussions. Besides, basically, we asked the descriptive and analytical questions so that they can just analyze the AI-generated images and videos on their own, at their own paces. And also, at the end of the lesson, the students created their own AI Barış image by giving prompts to ChatGPT-4, just creating a very short, let's say, prompt in English by just getting the help of their teachers if they need it according to their own levels. And in the post-lesson, students participated in the individual interviews. And when we have a look at the reason behind why we chose Barış, Alper, Yılmaz for this study, firstly, we have more than one reason. Firstly, the students were really a fan of his, and we had 6 students and 4 of them opted for Barış, Alper, Yılmaz to be seen as the AI-generated tools. And when we have a look at, a glance at the social media tools, then we see that he was basically the top player by just created by AI. And also 2 of the students opted for Arda Güler and Uğurcan Çakır, orderly, who are also the national team players in Turkey as footballers. And also, according to the compensated AI-powered analysis, he was basically the top performing Turkish player in the Super League, and with the score of 264. And also, he was the man of the match in the national team for Turkey and Czechia in 2024 as well. So he was becoming famous day by day. And also, he was known for his care for children on Instagram, TikTok, and X. And also, many AI editors, as we said beforehand, were included in the social media fan pages, and also his club as well. Now I will basically just share the intervention process video with you, which was a bit different. Can you see it now, the video? You can't?
No.
Okay. I'm just doing it now.
Yeah.
He can
Think.
think.
Okay, very nice. Congratulations to you.
So many likes there are. Example, Joker. Example, Gladiator. Harry Potter. Terminator.
Very nice. Okay. And according to you, what do you think about that? What can real Barış do? The Galatasaray boy. What can
Score. To score in match.
Yeah.
Max.
he can score as Joker? So can he? I don't know. What about you? What do you think? In English. In English. No, he can't. Very nice. Congratulations. Red. And do you see brown? That's how. Okay, I think we can just continue with our presentation after this tiny intervention process. And now we will basically just see the data collection and data analysis part. I think you can see the presentation right now. The video is gone, right? Okay, good. So to collect the data, the participants were asked 7 open-ended questions in Turkish, basically, to reflect on their experiences. And then they shared their own ideas on the humorous side of AI-powered fan art of Barış Alper Yılmaz in the EFL context in one-to-one interviews at the end of the lesson. And the interview's average duration was 13 minutes and 6 seconds. And the video recordings of the participants were transcribed and analyzed thematically by the audience. And at the end of it, were reached 2 themes and 9 codes in total. Now we will see the findings, which are basically the pros at the first place. So we have 9 main titles.
You have 5 minutes left.
Thank you. And we will basically just see 5 main codes here. Firstly, we can say that the students mentioned there was an enhanced engagement through the relatable figures because they were really happy to see Barış Alper Yılmaz in the lesson because they're sport fans and it increased their focus in the lesson. And humor was regarded as a cognitive stimulator. And also they said that humor in lessons motivated them and helped them stay focused in the lesson more. And also they found the effectiveness of the visual aids in the retention because they said that the questions were linked to the photos and it made them easier for them to remember the vocabulary afterwards. And also some of them said that since there was a traditional approach and also method going on in the let's say in the schools in Turkey when it comes to English language teaching, they said that it can break the routine by making it more enjoyable. And also they said that there was an increased motivation through the pop culture and the personal interest. And now we have the cones. And basically, although they really liked the lesson in general, they said that there was a limited learning impact for some. And some of them said that there was an overuse and exaggeration of Barış Alper Yılmaz's AI edits transforming into Hulk as Antra, so it was over-exaggerated and we didn't really need this. And they also said that there might be an understanding of just adopting a diverse learning preference. So although most of the students were really happy about the approach that we have used in the classroom by just integrating the AI tools, some of them also said that the traditional methods are better because they are simpler. And also they said that there might be a potential for service level engagements because the visuals entertained them, but didn't always really help with English learning. And when we have a look at the conclusion part, we can see that it might be really creative to use the relatable figures and humor because it forces the engagement, motivation, and enjoyment in the classroom. And the visual and the thematic content, when they are directly tied to learning goals, it can enhance the vocabulary and grammar retention. Besides, the lessons can be personalized and it can also boost the emotional connection and focus at the same time. The effectiveness of visuals and the popular culture also can rely on the alignment with the learning objectives in the classroom. Nevertheless, the teachers can be advised not to use the over-exaggerated or unrelated content because they can be really distracting for the learners. And we need to have a balance of the entertainment with the academic rigor because it's really essential to ensure the meaningful learning. So in the pedagogical implications, we can basically just mention that it might be really strategic to use the visuals that are linked to AI and according to our own goals in the lessons, but still there might be a differentiated instruction because some of the students may not be really fond of the AI tools that we are about to use in the classroom, or maybe they might not be the fan of the celebrity that we're integrating into the lessons, but still it can just create a personalized content atmosphere for the learners. And also humor should be used as a purpose, as a tool rather than the purpose. And it can really help the learners to basically be motivated throughout the time. So these are the references that we have used for this little pilot study. So thank you for your attention. If you have any more questions, you can just ask them right here, and you can just shoot us at the questions through the email addresses you've seen on the screen.
If I understand correctly, the use of the artificial intelligence was to generate the images, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there was no generation of humor by the artificial intelligence.
Basically, we just integrated it into the lesson. For example, the students were saying the fun things about what he can do as a real one and what he can't do as the AI one, or vice versa. So they were basically just creating the sentences based on their own humorous side of it.
So, but the students were doing this, not the AI, right?
No.
Okay.
It was the activity itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so any questions from the audience? Okay, so there is a question from Chris Land. Do we have a sense of how AI-assisted pedagogy might change going forward?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Well, since my MA thesis is also on AI integration into English language teaching, I can say that basically you can take it as the lesson plan preparation or just creating the materials. It can be helpful but dangerous at the same time. So probably, yeah, maybe we can have a sense of just understanding that maybe AI can shift the pedagogical implications that we have for especially the English language teaching field.
Okay, other questions? So David Edwards says, my prediction is that these tools will gradually reduce the availability of their free options. If so, meaning where the students don't have to pay. If so, what would you use in place of the AI generated input?
Yeah, that's also a good question. Well, basically, my prediction is really changing based on this question, because when we have a look at the materials that we integrate into the lesson, we put them into the lesson. So the students didn't really brought them to the classes. But if we just basically encourage them to use the AI tools, of course, with the guidance of the teachers or maybe the parents, basically it will be based upon the options, whether they want to pay this to create it or whether they just go for the free versions of it. And if it was me, I mean, if we're talking about the materials that I'm about to just integrate into the lessons, then I can say that there will be more options, because when we have a look at 3 years ago, we wouldn't think that ChatGPT can create lesson plans for our own lessons. So the understanding is shifting based on the technological differences that we have for the future. So if we can't see the results from now on, as we're not the magicians, so probably it will be changing according to the technology that we have 3 years later.
Any other questions? Well, so since we have the time, let me ask you a question. Are you at all concerned that in a couple of years, ChatGPT will take your job?
Oh, a good question again. Well, I can say that it doesn't really have the potential, maybe. I don't want to say anything else, like not for sure, because everything is changing. The day we are just waking up is not the thing that we slept one day ago. So yeah, probably I can't say that it can just take our responsibilities or maybe a teaching position, because still it doesn't have any emotions, and it's not a real person, and the students are really, especially the young learners, they want to see you. I shifted my teaching from face-to-face to online lessons due to the responsibilities that I have this year, and I can say that some of my students' motivation really decreased, because they said that I want to see you, I just want to touch your arm, etc., because this is impossible for me to focus on. You are so far away, although you are in front of me. So it can be really encouraging for them to talk to a chatbot, maybe to improve their communication styles. But I can say that the lack of emotional support and the lack of the human side of the robots that we have nowadays can really decrease this potential. That's my prediction.
All
But
right.
we will see. I hope that this
Basically, you're saying
last
cuddliness
presentation.
is what's gonna keep us into our jobs. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm doomed, but it's good for everybody else.
We hope that this is not our last presentation. I don't want to manifest it in that way.
No, but it's very, very interesting.
Fingers crossed.
Any other questions, anyone? We have time, so don't be shy. No? All right, then we're gonna thank again the presenters. Very interesting presentation.